Guys, I am so excited for the new Tomodachi Life. This game is one of my favorite games of all time, and I think it's one of the best games of all time. There's just nothing quite like it. And honestly, I was starting to think that they may never make another game in this series. I definitely was not expecting the bomb that they dropped in this last Switch Direct with the combination of Rhythm Heaven and this new Tomodachi game. I am over the moon. I cannot wait to take all of my family and friends and experiment on them like little ants from the convenience of my Nintendo Switch console. But I love this game, and I'm so excited that they are continuing the series and bringing this to Switch. In my hundreds of hours clocked in Tomodachi Life, I've come up with a few ideas of things that I think would be really fun if they were to add them to a potential sequel. And now we're getting one. So I wanted to share a few of those ideas. These are 10, in no particular order, things that I want in this next Tomodachi game.
Number 1.
Okay, first off, and this may be my most wanted thing in the game, I want individual Mii pets. I'm not talking the rent-a-dog, the rent-a-cat coupon. I'm talking customizable, nameable individual pets that you can give to each Mii. And this is something that's actually showed up in a Mii game before, which I wasn't aware of, but I started looking into it, and Wii Fit Plus had a feature where you could actually make customizable Mii-style dogs and cats that would join you in the jogging mini games. It doesn't have to be too crazy complicated with the customization. I think just a few basic options, a bit more than they did before, being able to change the color, the basic dog body shape, maybe a couple different nose and eye and mouth options here and there to make pets that look like people's actual pets in real life. I imagine giving a Mii a pet being similar to how the Miis choose to have children in Tomodachi Life. When a couple's married, a heart bubble will pop over one of their heads and they'll say, "We've been thinking of having a baby. What do you think?" I imagine a dialogue option where they say, "Hey, I've been thinking about getting a pet." And then you can customize their pet and name it and give it to them. And then possibly even having a number of different mini games that you can play with the pets. A mini game where you walk your pet through the town. Bring that frisbee game over from Wii Sports Resort. A feeding or a training mini game. If you're not gonna bring Nintendogs back, let's just bake it into this game. Let's just make it a part of Tomodachi. And if they wanted to throw a few other pets in there that weren't customizable, I would be all for that too. The more, the merrier.
Number 2.
Next on my list is a family tree system. Now this one, I am not quite sure how this would contribute to the gameplay, beyond just avoiding the occasional awkward proposal that the game will throw at you. All I know is that the ability to tell the game which Miis are related to each other in real life would satisfy my brain. I like how you can tell the game when you're creating a Mii what their relation to you is. I want to also have the ability to tell it what other Miis are related. Again, I don't know how this would benefit the gameplay because the part of the fun is just the randomness of how the Miis get together and become friends and whatnot. And that's not something I would want to hijack by simply telling the game exactly which Miis should be friendly with who. I just know it would give me it would scratch an itch in my brain. That's all.
Number 3.
I want longer catchphrases. I love the catchphrase feature where they'll ask you, what should I say when I'm mad? What should I say when I'm happy? And they'll just spring out with that randomly whenever they're feeling those emotions. I want more of that because the character limit on those catchphrases, it was like maybe 12, 15 characters. It was so small, you could barely fit anything in there, maybe 1 or 2 words tops. I want to be able to do full-on sentences, like something that somebody would actually say. It's something that always annoyed me because I love that feature and I just want it to be more functional. So here's to hoping that the text boxes in this game are going to be bigger.
Number 4.
Another thing that I want is Nintendo-themed clothing items. This is something that's in Animal Crossing that I've always loved, and it's a point I want to make clear. I do not want this game to become Animal Crossing. I'm a little worried about it becoming too customizable or the Miis not having as much depth or independence as they did in the original. I do not want this to become a New Horizons situation. But do love the idea of being able to dress up my Miis with Nintendo clothing. I want the Mario hat. I want a Samus suit. I want Donkey Kong's tie. I like having those little things because I am a big Nintendo fan and I like expressing that in my other Nintendo games. Just a little thing that I would appreciate.
Number 5.
Now, number 5. Now, this one is a little more vague, but has a lot of things that they could do with it. I just want more interactive minigames. I really love the guessing games, the matching games, simple stuff like that is really fun. But I also love the more in-depth games like Tomodachi Quest, a whole mini RPG that you could play once a day. I want more stuff like that, because Tomodachi Quest is great, but the mini games that are there do get a little dull because there's so few of them. And Tomodachi Quest was one of the only ones that had more depth to it. The thing is, I feel like lately we've been starved for Mii-related games. And no, Nintendo Switch Sports does not count. But in general, for me, one of the most fun parts of Tomodachi Life was the mini games, or whatever you would call the different interactive things that you could do around the island. My favorite one being the concert hall. I mean, that has to come back in this game. But I've also seen people suggest different ideas that are similar, like possibly a movie studio, where you could animate your Miis into different scenes with different costumes. That would be fun. I want more stuff like that, stuff that just gives you a little more meat to dig into in the game, that you can spend a little more time doing. Because I love the variety of different things that you can do in the game. Most of them were just so short, and I wanted more of them. Ways that they could do this beyond having whole new buildings. One is the hobbies that you give the Miis. I think it would be cool if, while you see them doing one of those activities, you could click on them and possibly join in with them and have a little mini game that you play. For example, you give your Mii a golf club, and you see them at the golf course playing golf. Well, maybe you can click on them and play a little golf minigame akin to Wii Sports, or a skateboarding minigame, or a classic NES game, or something like that you can play little bits of. But above all, can we please get rid of that god-forsaken catch game? I cannot stand that catch game. They tease you. They tease you so much. And it's not even a fun kind of teasing because you can't skip their words. It's like you're sitting there and you have to just sit through it. Oftentimes, I will just put the console down and just keep pressing A and wait for it to be over because I can't. I don't even want to participate when you're trying to get me to catch a freaking pine cone that's worth 5 cents and you tease me with it. There's so many ideas that they could do with these mini games. I don't think that one needs to come back.
Number 6.
Another small thing that I want is actual accents. I don't want the text-to-speech voice to change too much. I would like a little bit more of a range of what they can do with their voices, but I definitely don't want it to be like today's standards of what text-to-speech is. I think there's a charm in that old robotic voice, which that sounds like what they're doing. One thing I would like if they put a little bit more into is the accents. There was an accent feature in Tomodachi Life that would kind of change the way that they speak, but it wasn't really accents per se. It was more like the flow of their speech. What I'm looking for is to actually be able to give a Mii like a southern accent, a British accent, something like that. How do you expect me to have Dr. Phil in my island if he doesn't sound like Dr. Phil?
I will kill you.
Nintendo, come on, get your priorities straight.
Number 7.
Another thing that I want in this game is even deeper interaction amongst the Miis. Not necessarily directly because of your input, but influenced by your input. Something I love in Tomodachi is how the Miis will just randomly ask you questions. Usually they're about yourself, but I want them to be asking more questions about the other Miis. Could they find a way to store that information and to have it influence how the Miis interact with each other? Or even saving that information and just other Miis just bringing it up later? Could the Miis start gossip amongst one another? Did you hear that Tyler, the creator, loves sponge cake? Where does he get off? Snoop told me that Meryl Streep hates children. Is that true? I love how scarily accurate the personalities of the Miis can be, so I would love if their interactions with each other were tied to that and tied to information that builds up over time that you give them. Some of these things are building on things that are already in the game. There's just so much potential with a game like this.
Number 8.
Another little thing that I thought of that I think would be really fun is the ability to have picture frames in the Mii's houses. Again, I don't want it to become too much like Animal Crossing and being able to give them a ton of items, to completely arrange their homes for them. I like how the homes work, but I think one thing that would be fun is photos. There's that whole photo booth in Tomodachi that is really fun to make little pictures of and dress your Miis up in costumes and put them in funny poses, but after you do it, there's nothing you can really do with it. I think it would be fun if any given Mii can have a picture frame in their house, and you can give them a specific picture, maybe even a screenshot that you've taken, and have it displayed on their wall for you to zoom in and look at anytime. Just a small little detail that I think would be funny to be able to give Mii's a funny picture that you've taken in the photo booth, or a snapshot from their wedding or their honeymoon, something like that.
Number 9.
I want more drama. Tomodachi Life is like a soap opera, and it's beautiful. I want them to get even more specific with the arguments. I want to hear why they're arguing. I know they did a little bit of that before, but I want them to go even deeper. I want the Miis to have specific reasons for getting into arguments. Like, okay, this Mii's best friend is also good friends with that Mii's ex-wife. I want to hear them argue. I want to hear their dialogue go back and forth. I want to hear them call each other names, come up with creative insults. Those cutscenes where a Mii confesses their love and 3 Miis come just like backflipping out of the background, those are just beautiful moments in Tomodachi. I absolutely love it. What else could they do with that? I want more of that. More observable drama in the Mii world. That's what I want.
Number 10.
And lastly, if they could find a way to make Tomodachi Life more social. Again, there's so many Mii projects that have gone to the wayside. One of those is Miitomo, the first social media app Nintendo tried to do with the Miis. Revisiting that and finding a way to make this game more social would be great. Even if they just kept the features that they had with Spot Pass, where you could have a Mii visit from another town and stay in a tent for the night, I liked that. I would like it if they found other ways to go deeper with that too, though. Tomodachi Life is inherently a very social game. The developers of the game described it as a game where you just have to get up and show somebody. And I think finding more ways to share those experiences with others would be great, even if it's just having more things to share, more things to create. Like, again, the songs. You just have to show people the songs. What stuff are they going to come up with in this game that makes you feel like you just have to share it with somebody? That's the stuff that I am really looking forward to in this game. But what do you want in Tomodachi Life? These were just a few of the ideas that I wrote down off the top of my head that have stuck with me for a while. I know that there's more things that they could add that would make this game great. There's so many possibilities. I want to hear from you. Do you have a great idea for Tomodachi Life, living the dream? I want to hear it. If you want to see more content about Tomodachi Life, check out this video essay where I talk about how the Miis were created. It's a very interesting story, and interestingly, had a lot to do with Tomodachi Life. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future, and keep on living the dream. Bye-bye.